My name is Jim Swanson. When did we move here? I moved here in December of '99, so that would be almost 15 years. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's changed quite a bit since we were here. It was a lot more rural. I remember first year I was here, I took a little drive and drove past all sorts of farm stands and stuff, just kind of made a left out of our subdivision and went off, and we were out in kind of a rural area now. A lot of those are built up and homes everywhere. Same amount of time since December of 99. Yeah. Yes, my wife and I are pretty active here. As when our kids were younger, we actually helped chair the youth group for a while, and I'm the chief cook and bottle washer around here. I do all the cooking for all the events, and we do Sunday morning family hour bagel bar, we call it. It's a fundraiser for the sisterhood, but we serve breakfast and like a light meal to the kids while they're between breaks in Sunday school, and then it's really just a chance for everybody to sit around and either chat or work or have meetings or we got a bunch of gamer parents who sit here now and sit at what we call the nerd table and play Dungeons and Dragons type games, and it's just there's a kind of an interest for everybody here now on Sunday mornings. So we're pretty full here on Sunday mornings. So. I'm just a volunteer around here now. Like I said, the kitchen's my area. Everybody kind of defers to me for stuff in there. I've been the House and Grounds chairman at different points. My wife's been president of Sisterhood. We've done quite a bit here, but like I said, right now we're just members who are active. So and on the and do some committee work to make sure, especially for things like parties and events and fundraisers. We spend a lot of time helping with those. So. It's grown a bit. It's kind of been up and down, but we've been pretty static at a certain number of members over the last 8 or 9 years, but we grew dramatically when we moved. When we first got here, we were still in the old building downtown, and then we moved out here to Stafford, and I was the one who actually coordinated the move from the old building to here. So many, many moons ago when I was younger, I used to be in the moving business, so I got stuck coordinating the move over here and renting the trucks and running all the stuff over. And so I've been here right from the beginning of this building. They were still putting pews in when we were starting to do work over here. So a lot of change. A lot stayed the same. I mean, we've done a lot of work. A lot of members spent a lot of time putting things together. And this library is one. I mean, it was just a big empty room with a few bookshelves in it. Now somebody's put a lot of time putting bookshelves in and making it a little bit more of a place here. So. We have done more in the past. Last couple years, I haven't done a lot with the general community and there, but I have been when I was active in Boy Scouts. I was a scoutmaster and an assistant scoutmaster and troop here in Stafford for about 5 years, and we used to do a lot with the interfaith community. We'd do the Boy Scout walk every year and a couple of other events where we'd try to pull some of the lay leaders in to talk about Judaism and make sure the kids got we had several Jewish Boy Scouts in the troop, and we'd make sure they got their at whatever level they were at, they got their Jewish Boy Scout awards, and I know the Girl Scouts have been pushed to get their awards. So that's where most of my connection has been. I really haven't spent a lot of other time, but. Unless I was Stafford County, I'm very interested in the event, in the whole idea of the anniversary coming up and the living so close. I could walk to Ferry Farm from where I live, and it's kind of interesting knowing that I trod that ground that so many people have trod before, and the idea that we saw some of the stuff that came out of our subdivision when they constructed it, the Civil War stuff, because it was all Union encampments up where we were. But the interesting of that, the biggest thing I think I've done here, the one thing that probably has gotten closest to my heart was we bought a new scroll a new Torah scroll for the temple, and we also had our old Torah scroll completely reconditioned. And the day we did the blessing of our new Torah, it had to be made sacred. And the day we did that, we also rekindled our spirit with the old Torah. And our Torah came from a town in Czechoslovakia that was wiped out. There were a few survivors around the world, but very few from Kolín, Czechoslovakia. We found one who's actually a fairly well-known author, who came in for our rededication ceremony and was reading the list of names and actually knew a lot of the names on the list of names that we would read. And then we took our new Torah and wrapped it all the way around us, completely around the sanctuary, with a bunch of people holding it, and just all of us wrapped in the Torah while we blessed it. And that was really one of those really great moments of my life. You didn't need to be Jewish to even feel that one. That one was one that you could really feel you could feel the sense of community and love. It was really great.
Where did you end up in Stafford?
I grew up in Michigan, in Detroit area. I was self-employed for a number of years, and then I got a job with the government. I worked for Customs and Border Protection, and I transferred from working at the border in Detroit to work at the headquarters in DC. When I came here, it was the most bang for the buck. It was a bit of a commute, but it's the most bang for the buck. And I was a train rider and a bus rider and a slug rider, and now I drive because I'm up in Northern Virginia and it's a little harder to mass commute, so I drive up every day, and 40,000 miles a year on my car. So. We changed our focus. We had lived in an area in Michigan for a number of years, and we'd rented in the same area that we bought, so our kids were all at the same school, and our life was kind of around the school and the events around the school. When we moved here, we didn't have that with the school, but we joined the temple, and that kind of changed the focus of our life. We really just figured out we're here, our son's going to have a bar mitzvah, our daughter's going to have a place to go to Sunday school, and it'll be like what it was in Michigan, and it wasn't. It really became an important part of what we did every week, and a reason to get up on Sunday mornings and go to services on Friday nights and Saturday mornings, and try to become part of the community. So. It's just the changes we've seen. As it grows, it's becoming a much bigger county. I really feel like I belong here. We're getting to the point. I've got my son, a lot of his friends now are on the police department and other places. So it's, in the sheriff's department. So I see a sheriff's car and I'm waving to somebody because I happen to know them. Or, it's kind of a different. It's a different feel. I'm starting to feel like we really belong here most of the time.
So it's been a good experience.
It's been a good experience, yes.